He walked up to his own front door, inserted his own key, turned the lock, but before he could step inside, half the neighborhood had called 911. They said he was breaking in. They said he didn't look like he belonged. This is the story of 27-year-old Elijah Carter, the night he became a suspect, in the one place he should have felt safe, his own home. Elijah had just moved into the neighborhood, a quiet cul-de-sac, the kind with trimmed lawns, HOA newsletters, and neighbors who wave, but don't always mean it. He worked long hours at a small architecture firm, the kind of job that meant staying late to finish projects and getting home after dark. He'd saved for 7 years to buy this house. For Elijah, this was his dream, a fresh start, a place of his own. On the night everything went wrong, Elijah came home later than usual, almost 11 p.m. He was exhausted, juggling his laptop bag, a takeout container, and a stack of mail from the office. Nothing seemed unusual, except for the eyes watching him. Some neighbors had never seen him before, others had, but not in the daylight, and to them that was enough to start assuming. As Elijah reached his porch, one neighbor decided something looked off. She called 911.
There's a man trying to break into the house next door.
Another caller said, he looked nervous. Another said,
He doesn't live there. I've never seen him.
In less than 3 minutes, multiple 911 calls described Elijah, not by what he was doing, but by who he was. Elijah inserted his key, the same key he'd received at closing last month, when he heard it. Sir, step away from the door. 3 officers rushed up his driveway. Elijah turned, confused. He'd done nothing wrong, and yet the officers were already assuming the worst. This is my house, Elijah said. I'm just trying to get inside. But the officers demanded ID, which was inside the house he was being accused of breaking into. Despite Elijah calmly explaining the situation, the officers separated him, questioned him, and treated him like a criminal. Neighbors gathered outside, some recording, some watching silently from porches. Whispers spread.
I knew something was wrong. He doesn't live there. Look at him, of course he's breaking in.
Every comment hit Elijah harder than the cold pavement beneath him. This was the home he had worked years for, and now he was being treated as an intruder to his own dream. One officer finally did what none of the neighbors had bothered to do: verify the truth. Elijah's key fit. The house alarm recognized him. His name was on the framed documents on the kitchen counter, closing papers from the realtor. And that's when the officers realized they hadn't stopped a crime. They had created one, a crime of assumption, a crime of prejudice, a crime of fear dressed up as concern. The officers apologized. The neighbors didn't. No one admitted they overreacted. Instead, they insisted they did the right thing. But Elijah knew that night would change the way he saw his home forever. He'd bought a house, but not acceptance. He'd earned the keys, but not the benefit of the doubt. And now, every time he walked up his own driveway, he wondered who was watching, who was waiting to call, who still believed he didn't belong. He wasn't breaking in. He was simply coming home. But to some people like Elijah still look like a threat, even when they're only trying to live their lives. What do you think? Would this have happened to anyone else? And how many suspicious people are just neighbors trying to go home?